Okay, didn't expect it to make this one, but this is the tutorial for rigging in Blender, how to add custom bone controls on head, necks, spines, and ears, and etc. So throughout the videos, I have done creating a basic armature for this Winston dog. I also gave him a IK bones on the both legs and how to add a leg control and give him a custom bone shapes for the animation purposes. And there's a step that I forgot to do it was to disable the deform for all the bone controls. But unfortunately, this one is the head weights are already attached to this bone. So what I'm going to do, just like this foot control right here, so we're gonna separate the new bones, like what I'm using right now, in order to disable the deforms, but it also can use for bones to follow along with the custom bone controls that I made. And I'm showing the IK bones on this foot control as an example. And I'm going to use the custom controls for the head, ears, this mouth bone, these mouth controls and the tongues, but also with the neck, spines, and this little tailbone right here. And this full body control is already have any weight paints are assigned. So in that case, I'm gonna select the full body control and I'm going to disable the deform on this one. So the full body control, I don't need anything to worry about. But if I'm using a neck bones like this one here, let me disable the deform. And it seems pretty okay. But this one, let me disable the deform. And let me try to select the spine. Let me disable the deforms, and as you're seeing right here, the weight paintings the Blender is kind of confused with the weight paintings after the deform is deselected. So let me enable the X-ray mode. And I'm going to enable the names. And after that, I'm going to change the display from wire to octahedral, which is the default armature display. And I'll select the head and the eye, these both ear bones. Right now, these are the three bones I'm going to duplicate and create the new bone controls. So let me hit tab to change from pose mode to edit mode. As you can see, the head and the both ears are now selected, and I'm going to press Shift D. Those three bones are now duplicated, and press Escape and do not deselect the bones. And on the side here on the armature properties, this is the bone collections. We're going to separate the bone visibility, and I'm going to hit plus to create new collection. Now I have created new bone collections. I'm going to change the name to bone controls. And while the duplicated bones are selected, just press G to move around and escape. I'm going to assign the bones to these collections. And now I'm toggling on and off to see the bones are actually inside of this new collection. Well, the bone is supposed to be not showing in the bone collections. Okay, let me try this again. Just select everything and just assign to the bones. I'm going to create, I'll call it a Winston bones. Assign everything. and hide collections. All right. Let me create a new bone controls. And I'll select all the foot front and back foot controls. Well, I'm doing my best figuring out how this bone collections are worked. Well, give me just a second. Right now the bone controls are assigned to these collections. Okay, yeah, that I I made a messy bone collections here. Okay, so this is assigned and remove from existing assigned. Okay, I think I figured it out. So let me start from the scratch and make sure I created bones and bone controls collections. I'm going to assign this full body control to bone controls, and I removed it from the bones collections. So you can tell the dots that are showing on this list of collections that you can see the full body control is no longer on the bones collections. So I'm going to select all the spines, necks, and head controls and duplicate them. And while these are selected, click the bone controls and assign, and click on the bones collection and remove them. Now you guys can see more clearly that the the bone controls are in the different collections, so you can toggle between them much easier. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for this hips control. Also do the exact same thing for both ear bones. Make sure the both ear bone controls are parented to this head control. And do the same for mouth and tongue armature bones. Alright, so now all the bone controls are now listed in the bone controls collections. Also, don't forget the eye controls and eye trackers as well. Okay, now I'm going to change the name for all of these duplicated bones here. I'm going to change this one as head control. And if you don't remember the name of the bones you're going to apply, you can always toggle back and forth visibility. Now all the bone controls are set. I'm going to hide them and show the original bones. Go back to the post mode and select all the bones here. Make sure all the bones are on the bones collection. And I'm going to go to bone properties and I'm going to hold down Alt to cancel. And all the previous bones are now back to its normal bones here. And do the exact same thing for all the controls on the mount. I'll select all the foot roll controls and I'm going to press M and move all four of them to bone controls collection. And I'm going to bring all these IK bones back to the normal bones. And I almost forgot to duplicate the shoulder bones. So I'll select both and go to edit mode, duplicate, and go to the bone collections and make sure this is in the bone collection, not on the bones collection. So after duplicated these two bones, then on the bone collections, hide the bone controls and enable the bones. And oh, I almost forgot to remove the custom bone shapes on the right ear. Delete the custom shape and select these two bones and remove them as well. Yeah, Alt delete. In the necklace bone, I'm just going to move this to this bone collections and remove from the bones. Do the exact same thing for this dark color bone right here. Okay, so all the bone controls are now set. And right now the only functioning control is the full body control here. And select all, go to bone properties. And right now just select the other bones that has a deform enabled and hold down Alt and click on deform to uncheck. And then select all the bones in the center just to make sure the deforms are all unchecked on these control bones. It is looking good. I'll go back to the bone collection and enable the bones. And right now my controls are not working here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign each the spine, neck, and head bones, etc. And I'm going to use the inverse kinematics on this spine control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the spine control and then select the original spine bones. And I'm going to use the shortcut or the hotkeys to apply inverse kinematics by pressing Shift I, target selected bones, and now the IK bone is applied, but it seems to have a little bit of problem here. All I'm going to do is to set the chain length to 1 and enable the rotation. And when I move the spline control, now the spline is set the IK bone and referencing on this spine control. And I'll do the exact same thing for this shoulder bone as well. But first, I'm going to apply the inverse kinematics on this neck bone. Set the chain length to 1 and apply the rotation. There you go. And we have some a little bit of weight pain issues, but we're going to fix that later. And I'll I'll just apply the inverse IK bones on all these bones to the control. Okay, we got a missing bone control for this tail. So I'll do the exact step by step what I did before. And also add the IK bones on the tongue and mouth. All right, so all the bones are applied with IKs to the bone controls, and I'm going to leave the toes. I don't think I need to, I don't think I want to duplicate for another control. And that, just make sure you select all the bone controls. I'm going to hide the bones here and, okay, bring this global control to the control collections and just making sure one more time, select all the bones and then go to bone properties and hold down Alt and uncheck deform all the control bones here. So all the main bones are applied with the inverse kinematics to these control bones that I just duplicated today. And I'm going to preview all the bones here, and you see all the issues with the weight paint. This is the weight painting issue that I'm going to fix right now. And here I disabled all the selection on the outliner. To enable this, go to this option, and here you can toggle the restrictions on selection, and just in case if you're not seeing here. Alright, so I'm gonna select the Winston character mesh and start editing the weights on each bones. So I'm going to go back to the post mode to preview the weights on this mesh. So it seems like shoulder bones and the spine have some issues here. And I'm going uh, to add some of the weights and use smooth brush to just relax a little. So while I weight painting, if I see the solid view, so you're gonna see this mesh is showing this weird wrinkles around it. So it seems like it's not the issue with the weight painting, and it seems like a problem with the ordering the modifier here. Before you applying a mesh to the armature, make sure the subdivision or other modifiers are on bottom of the armature on this modifier properties. And now it seems like everything, all these wrinkles are now gone. And let's go back and fix some weights on the neck bones here. Alright, so all the weight paintings are fixed. So I'm going to go back to the object mode, select the armature, and inside of pose mode to reset all the transform and rotations by pressing Alt G and Alt R. Okay, so this back die, it looks kind of weird here. So let me just do some weight on these these vertex groups here. Okay, so all the deforms on the control bones are disabled, and when I'm moving the controls, just make sure I move the leg bolts far away from the front leg. And now all the control bones are set and ready to animate, or just making some pose like what I'm doing right now. Although all the weight painting issues are fixed, and I'm going to finish this tutorial by making some little pose for this character. So I was a little bit late to show you this part for you guys throughout the whole video on how to create the bone controls and disable the deforms and fixing the weight paintings and how to move all the bone controls to a different collection. But I was able to make this video today and show you guys how to do it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.